Hello friends, welcome to another Smart Coach video, and in today's video we will be talking about the Lodi dynasty. And the Lodi dynasty is the first confirmed Afghan dynasty in India, okay? The first confirmed Afghan dynasty. Because we do not know much about the origins of the Sayyids that had preceded the Lodis. So, of the Lodis, we know that they are the first Afghans who ruled over the Sultanate of Delhi, okay, the Delhi Sultanate. Now, proceeding forwards, where did the Afghans come from? Well, we know that the Afghans had been employed in the Sultanate military, okay, they have been employed in Sultanate military. And being in the military, they had amassed huge power. And by the time of the Sayyids, because since the Turkish factions had lost most of the powers that they had accrued through the Sultanate, the Afghans became prominent. Okay, the Afghans were segregated in clans such as the Lodis, the Lohanis. Okay. So there were various clans of the Afghans who lived in India, and now they started bidding for power. And this bidding for power gets manifested in the form of our very own Behlol Lodi. Now Behlol Lodi succeeds the last of the Sayyid dynasty ruler, Alam Khan or Alam Shah. Okay, Alam Shah is sent to his ancestral property at Badaun. However, this meteoric rise of Behlol Lodi as from a commander to the ruler, you see, takes place in gradations. Okay, Behlol Lodi first was employed under Muhammad Shah. Okay, he was employed with Muhammad Shah, and during Muhammad Shah's reign, Behlol Lodi was able to consolidate his power. And then, when Alam Shah came to rule, Behlol Lodi became so powerful that he was able to oust the ruler and take on the seat of the Delhi Sultanate himself. And therefore, he founded the Lodi dynasty in India. Okay, the Lodi dynasty ruled for 75 years. Okay, and we see that there were three prominent rulers of the Lodi dynasty. First is, of course, Behlol Lodi. Then we have Sikandar Lodi. And then we have Ibrahim Lodi. Okay. Now, when Behlol Lodi came to power, he also had to contend. Okay, we are talking about Behlol Lodi, and let us proceed during his rule. What happened when Behlol Lodi first came to power? He had to contend with the Sharqi rulers. Okay, Sharqi Sultans of Jaunpur. Okay, so in Jaunpur, the Sharqi Sultan Hussain Shah was ruling. The Sharqis had separated from the Delhi Sultanate, and they had founded their own seat of power, which was centered around Jaunpur. Okay, at that point of time when Behlol Lodi was ruling the seat of the Delhi Sultanate, the Delhi Sultanate actually did not have much power. It did not extend in its area also to a great area. Okay, its area was quite small, and Behlol Lodi was the first one to challenge Hussain Shah, and he was able to defeat Hussain Shah, who, after his defeat, shot shelter at Bengal. Okay, Hussain Shah fled away to Bengal. He will again come into conflict with the successor of Behlol Lodi, that is Sikandar Lodi. Okay, we will talk about that. But of Behlol Lodi, we know that he fought with Hussain Shah, and Hussain Shah fled away to Bengal. So after the death of Behlol Lodi, what we see is that Sikandar Lodi, which is the third son of Behlol Lodi, okay, Sikandar Lodi was born to the Hindu wife of Behlol Lodi, and although Afghans were very precise about racial purity, Sikandar Lodi was able to assume the throne of the Delhi Sultanate, and he became the second of the Lodi dynasty rulers. Okay, Sikandar Lodi is important. Okay, Sikandar Lodi's rule in India is important because of the fact that it was during his rule the Lodi dynasty, somehow it was able to achieve almost the similar kind of power which the previous Sultanate, Delhi Sultanate, at its most powerful point of time, how the Delhi Sultanate was the Sikandar Lodi's rule was able to approximate to that, although it would never be as powerful as it was during the rule of Alauddin Khalji, say for example, or Muhammad bin Tughlaq, but at least it became a little bit respectable, it became a little bit more powerful than the than the disgrace that it had sunk to, okay, because it was a very small territory that the Delhi Sultans were ruling. So Sikandar Lodi was able to do away with all of those things, and he was able to somehow, consolidate his power. First of all, he came in conflict again with Hussain Shah. Hussain Shah was defeated by Sikandar Lodi. Then Sikandar Lodi also came in conflict with Bengal, okay, Alauddin Hussain Shah in Bengal, okay, Alauddin Hussain Shah of Bengal. All right. And Alauddin Hussain Shah signed a treaty with Sikandar Lodi, by which Alauddin Hussain Shah was, conferred the rights of ruling of Bihar, or he recognized the Sikandar Lodi's right of ruling parts of Bihar. Okay, so Bengal, as it contained Bihar also at that point of time, some parts of Bihar were allowed to be ruled by Sikandar Lodi, and Sikandar Lodi was therefore able to expand his empire more than his predecessor, that is Bahlol Lodi. About Sikandar Lodi, one very important point is also the fact that Sikandar Lodi shifted the capital from Delhi to Agra. Okay. An MCQ question of this form is quite expected, such as which was the Delhi Sultan who shifted the capital from Delhi to Agra. Of course, you can point out that it was Sikandar Lodi. Okay, so as far as Sikandar Lodi's rule is concerned, we also have to look into his market policies. A little bit about his market policy, knowledge of a little bit about his market policy is important, but not very in depth. Rudimentary also is quite okay. Sikandar Lodi is known for keeping a centralized control on market. Okay, centralized market. So Sikandar Lodi also supervised the market. Centrally, and he did it in the same way that Alauddin Khilji did. Okay, Alauddin Khilji, who started the centralization of the market, Sikandar Lodi also went forward with the centralization of the market. However, unlike Alauddin Khilji, Sikandar Lodi did it in a very amicable way. It is said that what Alauddin Khilji achieved in his policies through violence or through reactionary measures, Sikandar Lodi was able to do it by diplomacy. It has been said, okay, about Sikandar Lodi in such a way. And then, as far as Sikandar Lodi is concerned, we also know that the measuring unit known as the Gaz-e-Sikandari, the measuring unit Gaz-e-Sikandari was also introduced by Sikandar Lodi. It is a unit of measuring land. Okay, Gaz-e-Sikandari, it was introduced by Sikandar Lodi. So that much we know about Sikandar Lodi. All right. Now Sikandar Lodi was succeeded by Ibrahim Lodi. And of Ibrahim Lodi, we know that he was the last of the Lodi rulers, because Ibrahim Lodi was, attacked by Babur in 1526 at the Battle of Panipat. Okay. Well, a question might also be asked as to how did Babur come upon India, or where did he get the idea of coming to India. Of course, the idea had been provided by Ibrahim Lodi's uncle, Daulat Khan Lodi, and his brother Alam Khan. Okay, Alam Khan Lodi. Now, they were the ones who received Babur at the battle camp. Okay, Daulat Khan Lodi and Alam Khan Lodi, and Babur was able to defeat Ibrahim Lodi, and through the battle of Panipat, they established the Mughal Empire in India. Now, this is the political history of the Lodi dynasty. Well, of the Lodi dynasty, we have very scanty sources. Okay, sources are not very extant about the Lodis, okay, in India and their rule. So we do not know much about their administrative structure or the art and architecture of that period. But as far as architecture is concerned, there are prime examples such as the Lodi Gardens. Okay, Lodi Garden, which is in Delhi today. So There are some architectural vestiges of the Lodi dynasty has survived, and of course there are resources, literary resources about the Lodis, but those resources are not as prevalent as the previous Sultanate dynasties. Okay, so this is about the Lodis. I hope you have understood it. I hope you'll be studying art. Thank you.